Whew. Welcome back to TransGuyReacts. My name is Nik and I make videos about women's basketball, collegiate or professional, and today I'm talking about the WNBA games for Sunday, July 14th. And before I get into this, I am extremely exhausted because I went to a food festival and I ate some guacamole, and I'm allergic to avocados, so I had a little bit of a emergency, low key emergency, and I'm just not feeling very well. Uh, but I want to do this because I do it every day, and I am well enough to do this. I'm just tired, so I'm just gonna get through it. Y'all have to deal with sick or ill Nick. Anywho, so get to the transactions of the day. Kiana Williams was released on July 12th from the Seattle Storm, and they signed her back today on July 14th for a 7-day contract. So she's back. Yes, they do. They release and they sign. It's kind of like they have to deal with the process. The first game that I watched was the Phoenix Mercury and the Connecticut Sun. I am in Mexico, so I use YouTube TV, and usually if it's like ESPN or CBS Sports, it's fine. But this was on ABC, and I couldn't watch it on there, so I had to go to abc.com to watch it. And oh my god, it's so frustrating because like it's the internet's being weird, and like the connection is strange, and it was just like it wasn't a really strong connection, and it kind of felt like I was watching dial up. Very frustrating to watch, but whatever. I actually came into the game because I woke up a little late. I came into the game during halftime and saw the beautiful and smart LaShana Robinson and Andrea Carter doing the halftime show, giving their perspectives and analysis, which I love. And then getting back to the game, it's pretty even at this point, but the third quarter starts, and there is a special report about the assassination attempt on number 45, on Prez 45, the orange Cheeto Puff. I don't care about that. This is one of the reasons why I moved to Mexico, was to get away from United States politics, but it was like forced onto me because I watch U.S. sports, so that was really annoying, and it took up a big chunk of the time because they had the president say something, even though Cheeto Puff would have been really just like dismissive and crass if it would have happened to Biden. But they have to be whatever. I didn't watch it. I didn't care. I put it on mute. Finally, they come back to the third quarter. It's halfway through at this point. I did notice that Diana Taurasi is in the game. She didn't play last game. In this game, it looks like she played very limited minutes because she's battling like a back injury, and they're trying to save her for the Olympics, so understandable. Griner didn't play that much last game, but she was in this game. She played way more minutes and was putting up more numbers as well, so she played better. But that third quarter for Mercury was abysmal. They only scored 9 points. It was pretty awful. In the fourth quarter, they only scored 18 compared to the 29 that the Sun scored. Rachel Banham for the Connecticut Sun was having an amazing night. She was hitting so many threes. She ended up hitting 8 threes for a career high for her, and the Sun pretty much ran away with it in that second half. And Mercury's, they're just so abysmal scoring. It was just pretty bad. And the Connecticut Sun won 96-69. Pretty big ass whooping for Mercury. Kalia Copper did what she could. She had 17 points, which just wasn't enough. Brittany Griner had 16 points, 9 rebounds. Natasha Cloud had 10.6 rebounds, but like no one else really stood up. Like Diana Taurasi wasn't playing really well. She only had 6 points, so it was just not a good night for Mercury. Connecticut Sun just had a really great game. Tawana Bonner had 17 points, 2 steals. Brianna Jones had 16 points, 8 rebounds. Denisha Carrington had 12 points and 11 rebounds. She had a kind of 2 steals and 1 block. She had a kind of a hard night. She wasn't shooting very well, but she was on both sides of the board making things happen and still got a double-double, so good for her. And then Rachel Banham had a crazy night with those threes, and she had 24 points off of those threes. Fucking crazy. What a really, really great night for the Sun. The second game was the Aces versus the Mystics. That was on CBS Sports Network, so I could watch it on YouTube TV. It was fine. My connection was perfect, so that was nice. It was pretty interesting because like the Mystics were pretty dominant in that first quarter, but of course the Aces came back in the second quarter and really kicked their ass. Only 12 points were scored by the Mystics in that second quarter, and then the last two quarters were, well, third quarter was kind of even, and then that fourth quarter, Aces really put the gas on. Even it was kind of crazy. Jackie Young got a technical. I was like, whoa, that's so crazy. But it was like pretty competitive into that fourth quarter, and then the Aces go up, but it's tight until the very end, and the Mystics just couldn't keep it together, and they let it slip away. I am so tired from my allergy. Oh my god, it's hard to talk. Okay, Ariel Atkins had 36 points. That is so crazy. She was the only person to get in double digits for the Mystics. She was scoring wild. That's crazy. One block, one steal, 36 points. Wild. The only two other people close to double digits was Julie Van Loo with 9 points, 7 assists, Shatoya Walker Kimbrough with 9 points, and that's it, yo. Like, it was just not a really good evening or production for the rest of the Mystics. And it's like, if no one's scoring, you got only one person scoring, what are you going to do with that? For the Aces, Tiffany Hayes had 17 points, really great. Kelsey Plum had 22 points. And Asia Wilson had 28 points, 17 rebounds, 2 blocks. Pretty great night for Asia. Again, she's always getting those high points in rebounding averages. And Jackie Young had not a good night. She only had 7 points, 5 assists, but did not matter. The Las Vegas Aces won 89-77. Now, the third game I did not watch because right after the Aces game, I left to go to the food festival, and that's ate some avocado and had my allergic reaction. But so I didn't watch it. So it also started an hour after the Las Vegas Aces Washington Mystics game, and I also don't feel the need to support the Indiana Fever. They have so many new stands. I don't know. Some of them are fans, but a lot of them are stands of Caitlin Clark, and they're awful. I don't really like them. They're not really nice people. A lot of them are Trump supporters, let's be real. And so I don't need to watch. They have a ton of support, so they're good. They don't need my eyeballs. They're fine. This game was on ESPN. I had a feeling that the Fever were going to win this game because Nafisa Collier has been out with plantar fasciitis. And Nafisa Collier is like their leading scorer, great defender. So I was like, she ain't going to be in this game. So Indiana might win this. And looks like they did. They won it 81-74, and it was at home for the Lynx, so kind of embarrassing. Looks like the first two quarters were really close. The third quarter, Lynx slightly beat them out, but then in that fourth quarter, the Indiana Fever turned it on, and they had 28 points to 14 points. So the Lynx just fell apart in that fourth quarter, it looks like. It's really unfortunate. But looking at the scoring is so interesting because it was pretty even across the board. But like I said, Lynx had Nafisa Collier, Diamond Miller, Elisa Peely, and Olivia Pupa not in the game, so that's pretty decisive reason. But Bridget Colleton had 17 points, 7 rebounds. Alana Smith had 18 points, 8 rebounds, 4 steals. Kayla McBride had 11 points. Courtney Williams had 10 points, 7 assists. Cecilia Sayondini had 10.6 rebounds. So a really good out offering from the Lynx, but apparently the Fever did one better. Melissa Smith had 11 points. Aaliyah Boston had 17 points, 16 rebounds, 4 blocks. Girl having a great night. She was playing fantastic. Kelsey Mitchell had 21 points, 1 block, 1 steal. Caitlin Clark had 17 points. Oh my God, 6 turnovers, as she does. And yeah, that was just a really good outing. Slightly better outing than the Lynx, just slightly, but enough to win. And yeah, Tammy Peck-Bentley is still out. That's so unfortunate, but they still were able to win. So great. Now the fourth game of the night, I did want to watch this, but I was out at the festival, so I did miss it. It was Atlanta Dream versus Seattle Storm. This game was on League Pass, and Atlanta Dream's not playing really well, so I did not expect them to win this game, and they didn't. And it was pretty even first quarter. Second quarter, Atlanta Dream played terrible. Third quarter, pretty even. Fourth quarter, they played terrible again. And Seattle Storm won 81-70 on home court, which is great for them. Atlanta Dream, let's look at these numbers. Alicia Gray had 12 points, 1 steal. Tina Charles had 12 points, 1 block. That's typical for her. Maya Caldwell had 19 points. That's crazy. That's so crazy. I can't believe 3 steals. This is so wild to me. Why was she not being played at Indiana? This is crazy to me. Ariel Powers had 14 points. And then, even Cheyenne Parker Tyus had 8 points. So it was just an 8 rebounds, but it just was not enough. Ryan Howard and Jordan Canada were out for that game, injured. Now we have the Seattle Storm. Jordan Horson had 16 points, 2 blocks, 3 steals. She is playing fantastic in her sophomore season. Neko Wumake had 10 points, 12 rebounds for a double-double, 3 steals and 2 blocks. Ezzy Magmavor had 18 points and 3 blocks. Joel Lloyd had 14 points and 7 assists. Sammy Wickham had 13 points. She even had 2 steals. It was just a really good outing from Seattle, and apparently they played Graham Club. I'm kind of sad I missed this game. But yeah, pretty good. I'm looking at these scores. Did they play the whole games? Yeah. Look, they might not. They might have sat down their bench because some of these players didn't play the whole time. Anywho, Skylar Diggins-Smith did not play very well, but didn't matter. So that's it. That's the games for today, July 14th. Sorry, I'm not as upbeat as I normally am, but I'm suffering a little bit here. But if you enjoy this kind of coverage, please like, share, and subscribe. As always, I say I don't have the comment section on because I don't care what random strangers on the internet think about me. But I do care about the people who come here every day and watch my recaps. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you. And I will see you all in the next one.